Right here, and today I'm going to be doing my movie review for the new MCU movie Thor: Love and Thunder. However, this is a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen the movie, I recommend going to the theaters and watching the movie for yourself, so you can go back to this video and write your own thoughts and opinions about this movie. However, if you have seen it already, then please stay and enjoy the video. One thing I kind of want to mention first about this movie, you have to understand the whole religiosity of this whole movie, how there's like other gods, like Greek gods, like Asgardian gods or whatever, and kind of like that. So I'm going to be going over the plot of the movie. As I go over the plot, I'm going to be also explaining who the characters are and what they like, as well as just giving my thoughts and opinions about this movie overall. So here we go. So in the beginning of the movie, we see Thor, who is played by Christian Bale, and we see where he's in this desert, and his daughter is just dying in his arms. It's his daughter's last moments, and as he's just kind of going through this emotional breakdown, he goes to his God to reassure that there is this eternal reward after death. Because like I said, there's like this whole religiosity of this whole movie. So he goes to this God that he worships to reassure that there's this eternal reward after death. And as he tells him this, the God just laughs in his face and basically just tells him that there's no eternal reward. As Gore is told this, he realizes that all these guys, they're just so petty, and they're all these jerks just lying in our faces and stuff like that. And he tells his God that why did I even worship you? There was no point to this. All I've ever done for you was for nothing. And as Gore gets mad, this sword called the Necro Sword, which has the ability to kill gods, and calls upon the Gore. It's in his hand, and since Gore is so mad, he kills his god, and then he makes a vow where he's going to kill all these other gods since they're all for nothing.
So this is my vow. All gods will die.
And this is where we meet Gore, who is the best character in this entire movie. Christian Bale just brings his character to life, and it's just amazing. So fast forward to present day, we go to Thor, who's played by Chris Hemsworth, and he's just trying to figure out his whole life and stuff. He just kind of figures he wants to be called upon when he's needed for help. And when he's needed for help, there's this planet fortress that's under attack, and he's with the Guardians of the Galaxy to help get the fortress back. And then when Thor's called to help, he's just all great again and just starts attacking this army that's taking over this fortress. And he does, but after this battle, the fortress is just destroyed after him attacking all these people. And this is where we meet one of the funniest characters of all this time. Not people, the goats. If you've seen this meme on YouTube where they call it the goat helm scream, this is where that appears. Where we first see the ghosts as a reward for Thor taking out this army, and the ghosts are just like that had me laughing. That really, really had me laughing. So Thor finds out that there's this god butcher killing all these other gods. So he leaves the Guardians of the Galaxy and he goes to team up with Korg, who's played by Taika Waititi, who is not only the actor of Korg, but he is the director of the movie, along with directing the Thor Ragnarok movie. And he does a really good job with these movies, shout out to him. So we fast forward to this new Asgard town, where if you remember from New Avengers Endgame, since that Asgard was destroyed, now there's this Asgard town on Earth. And Valkyrie is like the new king of Asgard and stuff like that. It's nighttime and Gore shows up, and he calls upon these shadow monsters to kidnap all these Asgardian children because he needs them to pay Thor so that he can kill them. While Valkyrie is fighting all these monsters, Thor and Korg chime in and help her. And while he's fighting, he sees Mjolnir, which is his old hammer. Not only does he see the hammer, he sees his old girlfriend, well, his ex-girlfriend, Jane Foster.
Jane?
Played by Natalie Portman, who in the movie she realizes that she has stage 4 cancer, so she's trying to find a way to cure her cancer, but she can't find anything. And then she feels that Mjolnir is trying to call upon her, so she kind of reads up on Mjolnir and stuff like that. She realizes that it can bring up great strength and great health. And then that's when she just becomes worthy and she becomes the mighty Thor. But later in the movie, we realize that not only is the hammer giving her strength, it's also slowly killing her because it's draining away her mortal energy. So not only is she getting stronger with the hammer, she's getting worse every time she lets go of the hammer. So After they fight the monsters, Gore ends up kidnapping the kids, and so now Thor, Jane, Valkyrie, and Korg are on a mission to find the children and get them back, and basically just defeat Gore. But Thor finds out that they're going to the Shadow Realm, which is like a dangerous place to go to, and he goes to this land. I forgot what it's called, but he goes to this like land where all these other gods are, like all the Greek gods and stuff like that. So when Thor goes to this land, he tries to find Zeus. However, he's in disguise, and then when Zeus finds him, something happened.
Let's see who you are. I take off your disguise. And flick!
So then that's when Thor just tries to convince Zeus to help set up an army to defeat Gore, since he's killing all these other gods. But Zeus is actually one of those guys that are being jerks, and he's just kind of being a jerk about it and just saying, no, like, I need your help, just get out of here, we don't need you. And then, because the disappointing thing about this for Thor is, like, Thor looked up to this guy, like, he was his favorite god of all time, and now he's all mad, and like, this got all mad that he told him this, like Zeus, you're for nothing, and then Zeus just kind of throws his like lightning bolt weapon at him, and then just tries to throw it at Thor, but Thor catches it and just throws it back at him. But instead of Zeus catching it, it goes to his chest, basically just killing him. And now Zeus's guards are just trying to kill Thor, but Jane and Valkyrie come in and just help him with that. Fast forward a little bit, then they get out of there, and as they're going to the Shadow Realm, that's when Thor realizes that Jane has stage 4 cancer, that the longer that she has the hammer, the longer she has the hammer, the longer that she's about to the longer she has the hammer, the faster that she's gonna die when she lets go of the hammer. So they find Gore. Jane that realizes that Gore needs the Stormbreaker to open up this portal where this eternal god or whatever can grant Gore a wish, so that way he can destroy all these other gods. And when they realize this, Gore, Jane, Thor, and Valkyrie just start getting into a fight. And then as soon as they're about to escape, Gore was able to get a hold of the Stormbreaker, and basically now when they're back on Earth, that's when Thor just kind of gives Jane, and that's when Thor just tries to explain to Jane that he can't come anymore, that the more you hold on to the hammer, the faster you're gonna die when you let go of it. And then he just tries to convince Jane to stay on Earth where she's safe. And then Thor goes back with Mjolnir, I think. Remember the kids I said that Gore was using to bait Thor so that Gore can kill him? The kids are there as well. When Thor's there, Gore finds out, and then he just calls upon his shadow monsters from before to try to get Thor. And the kids, because now Thor gave him this like Asgardian and lightning power, so now the kids are just fighting all these shadow monsters one by one. Even this one kid had a teddy bear and using it for laser eyes. I honestly thought that was kind of funny, not gonna lie. So now Mighty Thor comes up. She shows up, and then Thor and her just kind of fight Gore for a little bit. They break his Necrosword thing, and then but apparently they were too late because the portal's not open to the Eternal God thing. But in that moment, Jane Foster is actually about to die, and so is Gore. So when Gore sees that Jane is about to die in Thor's arms, it kind of reminds him of his daughter. So instead of wishing for destruction upon all gods, instead he wishes for his daughter to come back. Which, good job, Gore. So now Jane's dead, Gore's dead, and now Thor's adopting Gore's daughter. And that's honestly where kind of the movie ends, except there's 2 end credit scenes where Jane kind of meets up with Heimdall in Valhalla, which is Asgardian heaven, and where Zeus kind of realizes that all the gods have just kind of become a joke, and now he kind of wants revenge on Thor. And so instead of him fighting Thor, he's gonna send his son Hercules to fight him, which is basically just gonna be Thor 5. So yeah, that's basically the entire movie. Basically, one of the things I didn't like about this movie, it was some of the parts, it was just a casual watch. It was just kind of okay in some scenes, but there were some parts in the movie where it felt like the comedy wasn't supposed to be there, because it's kind of an emotional story, because someone has freaking cancer. So yeah, but definitely one of the highs of this movie is overall, just Christian Bale's performance as Gore, he is just amazing. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like there's a couple of scenes where I felt like Christian Bale kind of took some inspiration from Heath Ledger Joker. I just kind of got some of the same vibes from those two characters. I don't know, probably just me, but I think it's cool. Even though there was some humor that wasn't supposed to be there, some of the humor was actually pretty good. Like there's just one scene where there's like where Thor was in the land of gods, and there's this dumpling god called Bao. And honestly, if you're a Disney fan, you immediately think of this Disney animated short called Bao. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up on Disney Plus. You know what I mean. But anyway, yeah, that's basically the entire movie. I give this movie like an 8.2 out of 10. It's a good movie, but definitely not as good as all the other MCU movies. But yeah, it's definitely worth watching in theaters, maybe for like a couple times or so. That's gonna be the end of this video, guys. Hopefully you leave a like and subscribe, and if you can also follow me on Twitch. If we get to 50 followers on Twitch, then I'll do a Fortnite live stream where the stream will end when I get an arena win. And that's gonna take a while, because even though I did that one Fortnite challenge, not that entirely good at the game, I'm afraid to admit. But yeah, if you like the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys later.